Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Ton? There we go.
Okay.
Can you hear me,
Yes,
Ton?
yes, I can hear you.
There. Well, if I don't listen to my own stream and cause reverb, let's not do that. Okay. Can you see the video fine? Make sure yours isn't glitching out.
Are you streaming now or?
Yes, I am. Actually, that reminds me. I am going to turn off that overlay temporarily. Okay, yeah. It's streaming right now. And here I am trying to click on the stream to go to my packs page. Yes, forever who's watching this is going to be streaming my pack pulls of Core 2020. All 53 of them. And I'm going to open them up. Let's see, I have about 45 minutes to an hour, so I have enough to probably pull most of them individually. Okay. Give me 1 second to send out some messages to some different Discords to let people know I am streaming.
Yeah, I'm waiting for advertisements. Are you
Oh,
going to Discord screen share so I can see without the stream lag, or?
oh yeah, I forgot I could do that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. That means we'll be in a call,
Yep.
which works. Let's see. Call. Yep, and it's up to date. Okay, that works. Can you see that fine?
Um. Now let me swap pages here because it is very small. There it goes.
Okay. Close that out.
Right.
I can close that out. Let's see. Let me go ahead, like I said, and let's see. If I can get to the right server. For anyone just joined me in, I'm going to be streaming my M20 Pack Pulls. I'm just going to message a few people real quick. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that works. It's good enough. And we'll see if anyone actually ends up. Oh, that might be what that message is. And yeah, it is. Okay, we'll see. And let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Minimize that, and then there, we're good on that. Well, for anyone just joining in, I am going to go ahead and stream my pack pulls of Cord Set 2020, all 53 of them, because I've played some and unlocked some since I started. But I pre-ordered it, which gave me the 50 packs and other stuff. So we will see how well my pulls are. And I've got Ton here joining me, Tonero, for streaming it and commentary. Tonero, say hi.
Hey guys, Tonero here. Just wanted to say hi, and as Chicken did say, I am here just to hang out, a little bit of commentary, and see how the packs go.
Oh, hey Shadow, how you doing with little kitty? Uh, let's start this off. Let's hope we do some well. Let's see.
Act of Treason's always a fun card.
Oh yeah, Active Treason's definitely a lot of fun. There's actually a blue creature that has a kind of effect of you keep it, but I don't know. Ogre Siege Breaker, that's not horrible. We'll see. Wind creature and battlefield bounce another creature. That's not too bad. 4/4 for 4 that bounces. Tails
Definitely
and
good in a draft.
a stifle
That's a good
effect.
one.
Stifle are a
That is
counter
definitely a
legendary.
stifle.
Yes, that is useful. I'll take that.
It's a good start.
Murder's always good. Wild cards are never bad. When there's
Common
battlefield,
and uncommon.
exile. Oh, well, it's hand hate. It's a 1/1 for 2 black, hand hate, and a plus plus. Yes, I do agree with that, Shadow. They do need to add trading in here. Let's see.
That is a nice green or green. The black card. That is definitely a nice one.
Yes, the green one. +2/+2 as long as you have 3 or more. Sack land. Oh, that's a good one, especially in current meta, I believe. It's used because of the sack of land, search for land. It allows you to put lands in the graveyard for effects and landfall effects. Also not bad.
Chicken, I don't know if you looked up the set for M20. There's actually a new rare land. It's Lotus something.
Oh, yeah.
When it enters the battlefield, you have to sacrifice 2 lands, so that also helps get lands into the graveyard for that effect.
Yes. Luminous Shaman. Enters battlefield, target player shuffles any number of cards from the graveyard library. That's really good. Something to recycle the library so you don't mill yourself out against mill. As long as they're not playing Exile Mill. Boreal's not too bad. It's a 3/4 flying with for 5. Not the best. Flash 2/2/2. Not horrible.
It's a great card in draft.
You may search your library with a card same name as another creature you control, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library so you can tutor out copies. Includes itself. What's the rare? Bag of Holding. Useful card in a mono red style deck. Whenever you discard, exile. It's also decent sideboard in for versus a black-blue hand hate deck.
And Bag of Holding actually pairs well. There is a red goblin converted mana cost 3. It's got haste, and whenever he declares an attack, I believe you can pay a red and discard a card in your hand. You draw a card. I don't know if you ping something for damage. His other effect is whenever you discard it. Yeah, his other ability is whenever you discard a card, ping your opponent for 1 damage.
That's good, especially with the red enchantment. I forgot the historic enchantment. That's the first effect is discard your entire hand. Second one is you draw cards, and the third one does something.
Right, that definitely pairs well together.
Let's see, in the third set, Leafkin, which is used in meta right now. Raisin Reef, that's a great pull, because that's in heavy, and I need that for a deck I'm working, which would be Temur Elementals. Blood-Soaked Altar, pay 2 life, discard a card, sack a creature. Create a 5/5 creature token with flying, sorcery speed only. That would work well with the Bag of Holding, and black, which has a bunch of creatures that you sacrifice to get effects. That is a lot of effects to create one creature with flying, though. Could
Yeah,
see
that is
use.
definitely a heavy cost just for that 5/5.
When it enters battlefield, you build 4 of your own cards. You gain 1 life for each creature card milled this way. That's not too bad, depending on how your deck is set up.
Well, if you're running a Reanimator style deck, that's not
Awesome.
bad.
Pulled a
Sweet.
Chandra. That's 2 because the pre-order gave you 1 anyways. So now I have 2 big Chandra.
Very nice.
Yes. Big Chandra. This spell cannot be countered. The +2, each opponent gets an emblem with beginning of my upkeep. It deals 1 damage to them. The -3, she deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature. Board wipe for small decks. -X is she deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If a permanent was dealt damage this way would die, it gets exiled instead. Means some, in case they have any death effects. But the beautiful thing is the +2, you just keep on stacking up damage. -3 when you need that oh shit button. Let's see. What's the next pack?
And it always adds up over time. That +2 is very good.
Veil of Summer is not too bad. It's anti-blue-black. Your stuff can't be countered. You and your permanents you control gain hexproof, which is great versus black's destroy permanents. Overgrowth elemental, more stuff for my elemental stuff. Let's see, what do we pull here? Scryland. Not too bad.
Nice. Yeah, I believe either Veil of Summer is a reprint, or there was a similar card back in, was it M11?
It's a similar
Something like that?
card. This is a new one. Autumn's Veil is the other one I believe you're thinking of.
Possibly.
This
Don't
is
remember the name
a,
off the top of my head.
but that Autumn's Veil is black only, I think. It might be blue black as well.
No, I believe it's blue-black.
Oh, okay, but this is
And I think it was
it's
convert
a
mana cost
function.
too.
Yeah, this is a functional reprint, but does slightly different. Let's see. Overcome, good. Always a decent spell. Anticipate, convolute, and a couple different useful ones. When it enters battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. That's not bad. It's basically 3/3 flyer for 5 mana, but you get 2 mana back later that you can bank on for another turn.
And if you are looking for City's Blessing, it does help with that.
Yes, Field of Dread. Enters battlefield tapped. Tap for colors. When it or another land enters battlefield under your control, if you control 7 with different names, create a zombie. Decent for late game. I'd still understand throwing that in the elemental deck as a 1-of just to spawn out more tokens because you just play a bunch of different lands. But 7 more different names. 3 basic lands, guild gates, check lands. You could get there in Scrylands. Yeah, you could get there. It's a little slower, but you start spawning out creatures.
Yeah, if you have a card that untaps all your land, or what is it, Amulet of Vigor type effect?
Yes. Flying, counter another creature with flying for 4. That's not too bad. Enchantment.
A little high.
Yeah, artifact. When it enters battlefield, create a 2/2 green wolf creature, then attach this to it. Each equipped creature gets +1/+1 and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. That's a pretty darn good card. I know it's great in draft.
Definitely great in draft, and the can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. If you can put it on a big bomb, especially something with trample,
yes,
that's going through.
Infuriate's a great buff for mono red. +3,
Definitely.
+2 until end of turn for 1 red instant. Even if you're running multi, it's just a great defensive and offensively depending on how things are. Oh, Mythic Wild. That's not too bad. Not bad at all. That's basically any mythic I want.
Yep.
Let's see. Lava
I got a Lightning Stormkin.
Awesome. 2/2 for 2 with flying and haste. And it's an elemental and wizard, so it works well in multiple different decks. And Marauding Raptor, awesome. That I can use to make my mono green dino deck into Gruul, red green. Gift of Paradise isn't too bad. It's a little slow. Let's see what the next pulls are. Got another Wave Crawler. Got Gravedigger for some recursion in black. Negate. It's Negate.
Classic Murder.
Cavalier Dawn. Mythic. 4/6 for 5. When it enters with Vigilance, when it enters the battlefield, destroy up to one target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a golem. When it dies, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty good. Because you can destroy something that your opponent has. You give them a little creature in response. It's basically like a Beast Within style effect. But the recursion is also useful because you can get that would be a great card in Commander depending on how things are done.
Yeah.
You can combine it with the enchantment that gives something basically undying because it just returns back to the battlefield, and then I forgot what it's called. But either way, you can also use it just to return Ixalan's Ixalan's Binding. Do the CG decks have a chance at an extra card like in RL? Or am I remembering correctly? What do you mean by CG deck, Shadow? The extra. So you're asking if the pre-built decks have an option of having a random like pre-release card or no, because usually the digital decks, when you get them in here, they're already pre-built. They just give you a copy of the cards that they include when you unlock them. They don't include anything extra because you can't buy the decks by themselves. Unless I'm mistaken on that. Uncaged Fury, Double Strike, that's another great buff for Mono Red. Death Touch Lifelink 1/1 for 1. Great defensive early game option. They start going big, you pop down a little guy and scare them away.
That's vampires for you.
Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of Undying.
Oh yeah. Basically black-white. That enchantment kind of like that. When your creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control with a +1/+1 counter. Basically that with that other white mythic that we just pulled, combine those together and you basically have a recurring creature constantly. Unless it responds to one of the triggered abilities. Which is always fun. Oh, you meant packs? No, the packs are set number of cards. The occasional wild cards you'll see pop up is when these fill up on the right, you get a wild card based in that off of opening packs. Another Scryland, and that's a good one for the Temur Elementals.
So you're slowly getting your elemental deck built.
Oh yeah. Aether Gust, choose target spell permanent that's red or green, puts on top or bottom. Another shock is always useful. I don't know if I'm at 4 yet. I think I am.
Was an M19, so you should be.
What's up? Let's see. Oh, he is useful. He's using a mono black deck. He's actually just playing useful, period. It's a 1/2 for 1, which is decent. Plus, later game, you can buff him and give him Death Touch. And then, if any player lost 4 or more life, which includes yourself, you get a counter on him.
Definitely put pressure late game.
Yes, and he is a vampire. Fine, he can't attack or block alone. He needs a buddy. He's loyal. Okay, let's see. What's the next pack? Pulse from Ramasa, that's been a reprint because you just recur. Disfigure is a good instant speed removal or nerf, depending on how things are. Disenchant, just great removal. Dungeon Geist, when it enters battlefield, tap and doesn't untap for as long as you control. It's a send to sleep on a stick.
Yep.
It's a great card. There's an enchantment that it's actually a functional reprint as a creature of, and I don't remember what that is. But this is a Dungeon Geist is a reprint itself, anyways. But it's a decent card.
Yeah, I want to say Dungeon Geist was introduced back in the original Innistrad block.
Yeah. Gruesome Scourger. When it enters the battlefield, deals damage to target opponent or planeswalker equal number of creatures you control. That's interesting. Great, good damage. Especially if you go wide with tokens and you plop them out and then just sit there and do a good amount of damage. I remove a planeswalker from play. Little mini Golem Lord.
That's a reprint.
Yep. Dragonfire. Dread Presence. Oh yes, that's a great card. Seen a lot of play. Whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. Either you draw a card and lose a life, or 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. Great removal for tiny decks that just aren't getting stuff to lord up their getting Anthem effects to boost their creatures.
And you mentioned tokens. Right underneath that, you got some token generation there with Raise the Alarm.
Oh yeah. And Fairy Miscreant. Let's see, what's the next one go?
Yeah, I think Mono Blue Flying is actually a
meta deck
decent
right now?
budget deck.
Oh, budget deck?
I wouldn't necessarily say meta, but a good budget deck build.
It's a Mother Runes effect, kind of. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice till end of turn, and you scry one. It's definitely good anti-removal for white. Or sit there and make your chump blocker a really, really good blocker. Ooh, Kethis. It's a legendary one. Legendary spells cost 1 less to cast. Exile 2 legendary cards from your graveyard until end of turn. Each legendary card in your graveyard gains. You may play this card from your graveyard, which would, because of the wording, would include lanes. You can play the legendary lanes from your graveyard. Not sure if it's used in any decks per se, but it's got its uses. It's still a 3/4 for 3 that allows your other spells a little bit less cost for legendaries.
It'd be fun for a Commander Reanimator style.
Or a Commander Reanimator or a Tiny Leaders, which no one really uses Tiny Leaders. Another Gruesome and another Golem. I swear that those two popped up on the last time on the same time.
They did.
And, wild card. Always useful. Pacifism gets always annoying when it's used against you. Yeah, that's the kind of effect I think you're talking about, where you discard, then you draw, which I believe is nicknamed Rummage, and loot is you draw, then discard. And there's
something like that. I don't quite remember.
Yeah, because Jace Vin's Prodigy is a loot effect. If you draw, then you discard a card. Rummage is generally the red effect. If you discard, then you draw, like, not Faithless Looting, oh gosh. I don't remember what the other one is. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, scry one. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. It's not a bad enchantment. The scry effect is probably used more than
enchantment to get in drafts and stuff. And I mentioned Mono Blue Flying earlier. Cloud Concealer does see play in that.
Oh yeah. The 2/1 for 3 flying, and you draw a card, so it replaces itself. Ancestral Blade. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 soldier and attach it. Equipped creature gets a 1/1. Cheaper than the green version, but I like the green one a little bit better just because it's creates a wolf and it's green, and I like green more. But it's still useful. And Leyline of Sanctity, which is definitely seeing play because of red. Freaking burn everywhere. Yep. And the spells that target your opponent that make some discard, such as a duress effect. I've seen some decks that they'll just side this in off color just for against red. just to say no, you're not burning me.
Well, they used to do that back when it was standard and stuff, and also Leyline of the Void saw a lot of sideboard usage,
Oh yeah.
even on decks that did not include black.
Speaking of elementals, there's one of the main ones for the elemental deck.
Yep.
That's yeah. Shock. Let's look at him. Tap to add 2 colorless only on artifacts. Or search your library for Heart Piercer Bow or Vile Dragonfly. Oh, so you can search for the bow or the Dragonfire. Okay. Life Chanter. You may. Let's see. Life Chanter. When it enters the battlefield, you can have your life total become the toughness of creatures you control. He gets +X/+X, where X is your life total. That seems more of a finisher card or a combo card. Don't think that's going to see much play particularly, but I might be wrong on that one.
I could see it as maybe one of just as a emergency survival.
Yeah,
Or
I
if you're
could
running a deck with a lot of tokens or white
I could
weenies or something like that.
yeah I could see it be used with a Dreadhorde deck. Um, because is Dreadhorde you pay the life as the spell's resolving or after they enter?
I believe it's after they enter, but I could be wrong. I'd have to read the actual card text again.
Yeah, I think it's you pay the life first. So as long as you don't go within a blast range of them, and you survive, you gain a lot of your life right back, depending on what you pull out. As long as you're
Well,
not just
the
going plain.
last time that I the last time that I used Dreadhorde, I went into the negatives, but I did bring all the creatures out, but I didn't have any life gaining effects from the creatures that I brought out. But you do have to remember that technically in paper magic, lifelink works differently than how it does in online magic, because online magic has it set up to where if I'm at 1 life, I have a one one life linker, and you have a. Or actually, let me rephrase this. Let's say I'm at 1 life. I have a Child of Night, so I have a 2/1. You have a 2 power Trampler, which would deal that 1 damage to me. If I block you, you would put me at 0, which should technically end the game at that point. But with how the online is set up, because I have life gain on top of that, they still allow the life gain to go through, and it would put me at 2 life.
That's actually the way it is in actual paper magic accurately, because the thing is combat damage is done at the same time. Life link is not a triggered ability. You gain the life at the same time that the damage is dealt. So you would never hit 0 in actual paper in paper. You would, but you wouldn't, because your life gain would happen at the same time damage is dealt. The only time there would be a trigger ability is if you have something that says when you gain life. So your life is you, and also you don't lose from having 0 life until state-based actions are checked, which will not happen in the middle of damage being dealt at that second, or it will happen right after the damage is dealt. In between damage steps if you're doing with double strike. But you won't lose until state base. Like you don't lose in the middle of a spell resolving. You have a chance, such as if your life somehow hits 0 in the middle of a spell, state base actions are not checked until after that spell finishes resolving. Then before any new triggers are added to the stack, or new triggers will add to the stack before anything resolves. State base actions are checked.
Right, and I believe they had to update and add that addition to the ruling because of the Sanguine and Explicit combo.
Hmm. Okay. Well, these are the 2 that other guy grabbed. Heart Piercer, when the creature attacks, he deals 1 damage to target creature defending player controls. Useful for taking out those little guys. Spitfires definitely sees play right now. And mostly mono red Chandra decks. Another Boreal Elemental, not too bad. Let's see what the big boy is. Wow, I'm getting all my mythic rare cards. Mythic wild
Hey, you
cards.
got 2. So you could technically have 4 Chandras.
Mm-hmm. Meteor Golem, always useful. Another season growth. Oh. Well, that's basically what the other one is, a enchantment replacement on, well, now on a 3/3 creature. Tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its control or unstap for basically as long as you control that enchantment.
Yep, and I can't remember the name of the card, but it is CMC3, 2 blue and 1 regular that has pretty much that same ability.
Yep. Planar Cleansing for when you just want to say no to the board. As long as it's not indestructible. Always good to have.
Planar's always a fun card.
Okay, Rule of Law, which I didn't even realize was reprinted in this set, and I'm surprised I don't see it used in more decks. Well, another Leafkin for more for Elemental, and Overgrown. Awesome.
No, I think the main reason Rule of Law isn't used much in decks is because it says each player.
Yeah, it's symmetrical. But still, in some decks I could still see it being used. But that's still... I could see it more of a sideboard card against certain decks. Agent of Treachery, that's the mono blue one I was talking about earlier. When it enters the battlefield, you gain control of target permanent, indefinite. And at the beginning of your end step, if you control 3 more permanents that you don't own, you draw 3. So, yeah. It's high CMC, but it's a great card late game. Especially if you have the one that says all your spells gain affinity, not affinity, all your spells gain, what's the thing that artifacts can tap to add 1 mana? I think it's one of the Saheeli's gives it.
I don't know, but it sounds similar to how Convoke works.
Yeah, it's like Convoke, but for artifacts. Natural End, some good removal. Another of the little vampires which scare people. Colossus Hammer, +10/+10, and loses flying. Huge equip cost, but if you have the enchantment, which I don't think is on M20, but the enchantment that says when you have an equipment entered, you can auto-attach it. It's 1 white, the enchantment that says that. That's a 1 mana +10/+10. That's definitely not bad. Let's see. Chandra's Regulator. I think I might be building a Chandra deck at one point then.
Yeah, it's possible.
Whenever you activate a loyalty ability of a Chandra Planeswalker, you may pay 1. If you do, copy it. It does not copy the cost, so you don't get to add extra loyalty unless it's the Chandra's ability that adds loyalty to counters. And then 1 in a red, discard it. Discard a mountain or a red card, draw a card. That's not a bad side effect as well. It is legendary, unfortunately, but it makes sense. Another Meteor Golem, another Hammer. Anticipate's not too bad. Let's see what our rare is. Super Hydra. Hydra spells cost 4 less to cast. Whenever a creature you control becomes target of a spell, he fights up to 1 creature you don't control. And it's not, well, it is kind of a melee because it's up to 1, so you can choose 0. But you can have an 8/7 fight something. And it's got Vigilance for 6. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
It's a really good card if you get that in draft.
Oh, yeah. If you get drafted, especially if you pull the... you could do blue-green with the other... I believe it's a Hydra, the one that enters with counters equal to Planeswalker loyalty. I think that one's
I'm not sure. I know there's another mono-green Hydra that's in here, CMC2X. I don't remember what it does, though.
Another Wolf Spawner, another Altar, Aerial Assault, destroy target tapped, you gain 1 life for each creature you control with flying. Embodiment of Agonies. Flying Death Touch, you enter the battlefield with +1 counter for each different mana cost among non-land cards. That one can enter in huge, or it could not. It's an interesting card. And 2 in a black and 1 black are different mana costs. So you gotta do math, and luckily Arena should be able to do all that math for you. But it could be interesting. You'll still have to do math to make sure it enters as what you want. You might have to change the order of the stuff you cast.
Well, there is a mono black card that I believe came in the intro deck. What it does is when it enters the battlefield, I believe it's Stitcher's Apprentice or something like that, you mill the top 3 cards of your deck.
Yeah,
So
there's
that
a
could definitely help out the Embodiment of Agonies.
yeah. Return 2 target creatures from your graveyard to your hand. It's a great card. Just recursion. Let's see. Fry. Hadn't seen that one. The spell can't be countered. 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker that's white or blue.
Sorry, chicken.
No, don't fry the chicken. Don't do it. And Kalia. The new Kalia. Not a bad pull. 3/3 Flying Vigilance. When it enters battlefield, look at the top 6 of your library. You may reveal an angel, demon, or an angel, a demon, and or a dragon from among them and put them in your hand. So you can reveal one of in your top 6 you have an angel, demon, and a dragon. You can reveal all 3 and put them in your hand. Because it's an and or. So you can reveal basically up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, depending on what they are. 1 angel, 1 demon, 1 dragon. If it's multi-types, you choose 1 type that it'll be. So it's a
And I could definitely see that going in with the other Kali as the commander.
Oh yeah, this would not be the commander, but this would be the in the 99. As you can't tell, both me and Ton play commander. Portal Sanctuary. Return target creature you control and each aura attached to the owner's hand. Activate. That is very useful when your opponent's playing pacifism-like effects. Because you just say, and I'm going to return my creature to my hand, re-get my enter the battlefield effects, and your aura is just going to go back to your hand. Yes, Commander is fun, Shadow. Exile target card from graveyard. Graveyard hate's always good.
And it's pro black, so
Oh,
you can't.
here's the mono green Hydra you were just talking about.
Yep, so what I just mentioned.
Trample, it enters battlefield with X counters on it, where X is what you paid, so this would be at least 4 counters on it if you had the other Hydra out. It enters battlefield, choose 1 double number of counters on itself, or it fights a creature you don't control. Even though control is kind of... There we go. So, basically you could have it entering as an... If you have both Hydras and you spend just 2 green, you can have this one enter in as a 4/5 and then double it to a 8/9. That would be interesting. Or you could just have it at 4/5 and fight something. Or just have it come in bigger.
Either way, you're gaining value out of it.
Oh yeah. Hardcover, enchant creature gets 0/2 and has tap, draw a card, and then discard a card. God's Willing gives something protection. Reckless Airstrike, that's funny art. Deals 3 damage to a creature with flying or destroy target artifact.
It is funny.
It is funny. It would be so much better if it was instant speed, because then red would have some anti-air at instant speed. But the only way they do that is if... I could see them doing that instant speed if it was sacrifice a creature to do it. But then I could see...
I could see it as maybe a 2/of sideboard.
Yeah. Starfield Mystic. Enchantments cost 1 less. Whenever an enchantment you control is put in graveyard from the battlefield, put a counter on them. Useful in a enchantment-heavy deck. I don't think I'm going to be building a deck that it would fall directly in heavily. But it's useful. Speaking of pacifism, another portal, another apostle.
Got a Frostlinks.
Frostlinks, yay, more tap effects. Well, that's another one. When it enters tap creature, that creature doesn't untap only during the next one. Let's see. Leyline Abundance. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add additional green. That I'm also going to probably throw in my mono green deck. If it's in your opening hand, you can start with it on the battlefield. All the Leylines have that. All the Leyline enchantments have that effect. And then 7 mana, put a counter on each creature you control. That is interesting. 8 mana, if I can count.
definitely helps if you get that in your opening hand, starting out with a I want to say Arbor Elf, but I know that's not currently standard.
Llanowar Elf would be the one that's in standard.
Yep.
Llanowar Elf, Paradise Druid, Drover
Yeah, it would definitely help you ramp real quick.
Oh yeah. Let's see how this one went. Fenworker. Oh, the exile card from their hand, which gets around discard effects.
You
Baby
got the Chandra for
Chandra.
elementals.
Yep, that's the elemental one. Yeah, awesome. And another knight. I am getting some good stuff for black, so I might make a black deck as well. Blood for Bones. Sacrifice a creature as additional cost. Return a creature from the graveyard to battlefield. Then return another creature card from graveyard to hand. That's a great recursion card. Very great recursion card.
It is, and you were talking earlier about pacifism-like effects. So you can use that card, sacrifice the creature that has pacifism on it. It would go to the graveyard. The spell would fully resolve. You can return that creature to the battlefield, or return that one to the hand and another creature to the battlefield.
Oh yeah. And let's see what the wild is. Oh, Zombie Dino. A 7/6 for 3, but on your upkeep, discard a card. Which, you're okay with that if you run Bag of Holding.
Yeah, definitely a Bag of Holding target. And you pulled a Winged Words, which is on that mono blue flying.
Oh yeah. Spell costs 1 less if you control a creature with flying. Draw 2 cards. Oh yeah. I could see a red. It probably wouldn't be the strongest, but a red-black, almost Madness style deck. With Bag of Holding, the red enchantment, the dinos kind of as your bomb. Yeah, that could be interesting. Overgrown Elemental, more elemental stuff. Sage Row, when another blue creature is in battle for your control, target player mills 2. That's not bad. Replication, create 2/3/3 or choose a target artifact. Each other artifact you control becomes a copy of that artifact. That's not too bad, depending on what you control as far as artifacts. I don't know if there's any artifacts that become super overpowered right now if you have a lot of them.
Well, if you have the ability to just equip a artifact like that hammer from earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, if you had the ability to equip for free, in Commander this would make useful. I'm trying to think in Standard, I don't know how strong that would be. But in Commander, that can be a really broken card. Especially seeing that it's instant speed. I mean, you could make it as everything a copy of the Taxon one. What is it called? The one that makes anti-storm. Oh, I'm completely blanking on names, but the one that makes each spell cast cost 1 more based off equal number of spells cast a turn. You basically take this to basically pay 6 mana and make your opponent cast 1 spell this turn.
Yeah, I don't quite remember the name of the card myself.
Aether Gust, bounce something. Dragon Mage. Deals combat damage player. Each player discards or hand draws 7. More stuff for the discard deck. Another Elemental, which is used in just plain mono red anyways, because it's a decent card. Cutthroat.
Yeah, but the Dragon Mage is a 7-drop 5/5, so it will be late game when you get that out.
Yeah. Another Agent of Treachery. Steal your stuff, kill you with it. Late game, you just steal the giant blocker, then beat them up in the face with it.
Yeah. Or if you run bounce effects.
Mask of Immolation.
Technically Flicker.
Create an elemental and then attach it. Equip creature has sack it, deals 1 damage to any target. Good removal early game for get rid of their mana dorks. Plus it's an elemental, so it pops off Risen Reef like this right here for Timur
There you go.
Elementals. That's what, 2 I've pulled?
I believe so, yeah.
And then Leyline of Combustion. I'm pulling the Leylines apparently.
Well, that's 3 down, 2 to go.
Yep. This is let's see. When you are at least one permanent you control becomes target spell ability, deals 2 damage to that player. So it burns them for targeting your stuff. Great against black. Or red. Wand. 3 and tap, deals 1 damage to any target. When it's put in the graveyard from the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target. That's using a combo deck that you give something. I think it's used where you give the wand lifelink. And then no, that might not be that wand. There's a wand that's used in a combo deck right now. Sean Embercat, lovely Embercat. And it's an elemental too. But and another dino. I think I see the points towards a couple different decks interesting coming out.
Definitely.
Another portal. What's that one do? When it enters battlefield, you may exile a creature card from graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 zombie. So 3/3 and a 2/2 for 5. Another Leafkin, which is awesome. Less commons I have to use. Icon of Ancestry. When it enters, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. 3 and tap. Look at the top 3 of your library. You may reveal a creature card of the chosen type. Put it in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library. So it's a little lord. And plus, later on, if you have extra floating mana, you can just start scrounging through the top card of your deck to get more extra card advantage. Not a bad card.
Nope.
More elemental lizards. We've seen these cards.
Got another shock.
Yep. Mystic Forge. You may look at the top card of the library. You may cast it if it's a artifact or a colorless non-land card, aka Ugin, Karn, and a couple other cards that are used. Pay 1 life, exile the top card. This is used in an affinity deck right now. It's a great card. But very kind of slim on its targets. It's used with an affinity planeswalker deck. Another flyer. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 of Flying Lord. And flying there. Well, sorcery that pays off that. Another icon straight back to back. Okay. Unchained Berserker, pro white, gets +2/+0 as long as attacking. Blight Beetle, pro green, creatures your opponents control can't have counters put on them. Great counter to the Explorer package, but the Explorer package is mostly replaced with the Elemental package now. Another Field of the Dead to poop out some zombies. Let's see. Season of Growth, an Ancestral Blade. Not bad. Scheme and Cemetery. Choose 2 target players. Each of them searches the library for a card, shuffles the library, puts that card on top. You give your opponent a card, and you get a card. It's great. It's a great card if you have something to make your opponent mill. Because then they never get that card. They might play around that. If not, you just make them search for a good card, put it on top, then you're like, and you know what? I'm going to make you mill that card off your top of your library. We've seen most of these already. He's a funny one I saw earlier. 1 red. Only if you have a flying creature can he get flying, because he just grabs the leg of it.
Yep. That is a funny card.
Soaring. Nice. +1 target creature
Very
you control
nice.
gains Death Touch and Lifelink till end of turn. If it's a vampire, put a counter on it. +1, you may sack a vampire. If you do, he deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. -3 is put a vampire from your hand into the battlefield. decent card. Oh, there's another Risen Reef and another mask.
That's number 3.
Oh. Flying, whenever he attacks, deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage up to 2 other targets. So he's burning stuff. Burning stuff a lot. That is a very high cost, but he is a bomb late game. He is definitely a bomb.
Well, I mean, he's a 7-drop, 7/7 for flying with an ability, so.
Oh yeah, with a good ability. Especially if you have the little creature that you can sack to give him haste.
Oh yeah. And that would also be another card that would be good late game in a draft.
Another elemental over here. Apparently the game does really want me to play elementals, it seems.
I believe that's what, the second creeping?
Second or third, I think. I think the third.
Temple of Malady.
Oh yeah, Scrylands are always good. Would like to pull some more of the Scrylands. There's Agent of Treachery. Scrylands in my colors of what decks I'm looking at building, but we'll never know.
And you got an uncommon wild card.
There's the 4th Risen Reef. Another mask.
Yep, that solves that.
And another the legendary Hydra. Oh gosh, so many options with decks off of this.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be having a lot of fun later.
Oh, there's one of the temples in my colors. It's like the game's listening to me.
That's number 2.
Let's see, another Meteor Golem. I didn't think I had all of them, but that's at least 2 I've pulled. There's 3 of the Knights.
Number 3.
That's not
bad. Second Colossus Hammer.
Third Colossus, I believe.
Third?
Maybe second, maybe third.
Possible. Well, we know it's at least a second.
Gesundheit. Goblin Ringleader. I hadn't pulled him yet. When he enters the battlefield, reveal the top 4. Put all goblins revealed this way and the rest on the bottom. That's definitely not bad. Definitely good for a goblin deck in Commander.
I think he's usually used as a 2 of in mono red goblins.
Yeah. When you lose life for the first time, put a counter on him. That's not too bad. When it attacks, there's +1/+0 for each elemental you control. Not too bad. Would love for it to have trample.
Yeah, that would be good.
The blue replication.
You got a Thrashing Bronodon.
That's definitely not a bad pull. And another mythic wild card.
Another mythic wild card.
I'll take it. Let's see. Sky Knight Vanguard. When it attacks, create a 1/1 creature that's tapped and attacking. Not too bad for 2 mana. Another Leafkin. I think that hits 4 already of Leafkin. And a rare wild card. Ironically, rare wild cards make me more happy than wild mythics right now. Ember Hauler deals 2 damage. Not bad. Embodiment of Agonies, again, the one for each different mana cost. Sorry I'm rushing at the end. I do have work and not too much longer.
And a lot of the cards in these packs that we're seeing are the same as ones that we've seen. So.
Brought back. Choose up to 2 target permanent cards that were put there this turn. Return to the battlefield tapped. Hi, I play a board wipe. Hi, I'm going to just return 2 cards back. Enter the battlefield effects for them.
I could see brought back with the 2 cards from earlier. The one that, when it dies, returns a permanent to your hand.
Yeah.
And the Undying card.
Oh, yeah. Brought back's just a great card in general. Surprised I don't ever really see it played that much. It's a great card. Because it's basically regeneration, slow regeneration. Steel Overseer. There's another great card for Affinity Artifacts. I didn't know that got reprinted in this set. Oh, nice.
I didn't know either, but now we do.
Well, that Steel Overseer is a great card to, I guess, copy with the other one. Where's the other Chandra? The one where the copy of the ability puts a loyalty counter on each planeswalker you control. It's a 0. So that's the one you want to pay 1 copy to double loyalty counters. The 0 is to create 2 elemental creature tokens, gain haste, sack them. -2, you may cast target instant or sorcery with CMC 3 or less from your graveyard, and then you exile that card. So that challenges are good. So that's 2 of the big one, and 1 of each of the other ones so far. That's still not bad, Paul. Last
but you
pack.
have all 3 Chandras now.
Tree folk, power equal to the number of creatures you control. I don't know why it doesn't have a star there, because normally if its power is equal to the number of creatures you control, it's a star, not shown as 0. That's kind of odd there. That might be a functional misprint, if you will.
Possibly.
Flash, whenever you cast spell during your opponent's turn, you put a counter on it. Not bad. Flood of Tears. Bounce all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Return 4 more non-token permanents you control. This way, you may cheat in a random permanent from your hand in the battlefield. If I do recall, Omniscience is technically in this rotation. You could basically, that is 6 mana. You could 6 mana Omniscience.
Yeah. I believe Omniscience is in one of the last sets.
Yes, that would be a very interesting way of doing an Omniscience. I almost want to just deck tech one just for that, just to see how well you could do that. Just a bunch of cheap creatures, 4 Flood of Tears. But I'd probably just run a bunch of cheap blue flyers. Just run it as a flyer deck and then Omniscience. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's all my packs. And that is time for me to head out for work. We'll get ready for work. So thank you for whoever joined me and watched for the stream, or whoever's going to be watching this video later. I do apologize for the rush a little bit. But thank you, Ton, for joining me for commentary.
Not a problem. Happy to be here.
Oh, yeah. Happy to have you
Thank
here.
you for having me.
Thank you, Shadow, for your comments, even if you couldn't spell. Well, take a good, wow, I can't speak apparently today. Have a good evening, day, night, whatever it is time for you when you are watching this. And I will see you at another time. Okay.